Number 5 says a farmer wants to buy between 90 and 100 acres. So 90 to 100 is important. He has a rectangular piece. Shape is important. And we know that it's 1,500 yards long, 300 yards wide. The piece of land costs $87,000. And he does not want to spend more than $900 an acre. And it told us that an acre is defined as 43,560 feet squared. So, anytime that you are dealing with a lot of words, I will always either try to draw a picture, a table. So in this case, I know that it's a rectangular piece of land. I know that the length is 1,500 yards. And I know that the width is 300 yards. But you have to be careful. It defines an acre by feet squared, 43,560 feet squared. Your rectangular space is in yards. So 1 yard equals 3 feet. So I need to convert my yards into feet. So I'm going to multiply 3 by 1,500 and 300. That gives me 4,500 feet. And that gives me 900 feet for my rectangular space. And since it's talking about an acre is in feet squared, that means area. So the area of this space is going to be 4,050,000 feet squared. So I know that the area of the land is 4,050,000 feet squared. But I need to know my acres. And I know that 1 acre is the same as 43,560 feet squared. So now I'm going to take 4,050,000 feet squared. And I'm going to divide it by 43,560 feet squared. Which gives me about 92.975 acres. Now, 92.975 acres does fit the number of acres I need because I need it between 90 and 100. So looking at the answer choices, A says the amount of land satisfies his need, which is true. B and C say you either have too much land or not enough land. Well, 92.975 is enough land based on what the farmer needs. So I know I can eliminate B and C because A says he has enough land and D says he has enough land. So then we're looking at the price. A says the price is low enough. D says the price is too high. Well, in the problem, he says he does not want to spend more than $900 an acre. Well, I have 92.975 acres of land. So I'm going to take that number and multiply it by 900, which gives me $83,677.50, which is less than the $87,000 the land is worth. So therefore, the cost of the land is higher, which means the farmer will be paying more than $900 an acre. So the price is too high, so the correct answer is D. The key to this problem was being able to convert between yards and feet and making sure that you answered each part of the question. Problem number 6 says that a reporter wants to know the percentage of voters. Percentage of voters. So voters is keyword. In the state who support building a new highway. What is the reporter's population? So since the keyword are voters, that means I should be able to eliminate A and B. But since there is no preference as far as the age demographic of voters, the correct answer would be D. Number 7 says you have 2 concentric circles. Concentric circles means you have a circle inside of another circle, and they're both centered at O. It tells you that chord XY is tangent to the circle, so keyword tangent to the smaller circle. The larger circle has a radius of 15. The smaller circle has a radius of 12. And it's asking you to find the length of the chord. So for this one, I would try to label as much as possible. But since they told us tangent, the main thing for tangent is tangent and the radius make a 90-degree angle. So if I actually draw in my radius here to chord, that's only the radius of the smaller circle, which is 12. And then if I know that I'm dealing with a right triangle or right angle, then that means I have a right triangle, which if I connect O and Y, that's the radius of the larger circle, which is 15. So in order to find half of this chord, I can use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Well, the hypotenuse is always C, so 15 equals, doesn't matter which one you put for A or B, 12, and I'll just let it be X for right now. So then that gives me 144 plus X squared equals 225. Subtract 81, take the square root, you get 9. So then, therefore, this half is 9, which means the other half has to be 9, because there's actually a theorem that says a radius or diameter that intersects with the chord becomes a perpendicular bisector, which means that it cuts it in half. And so in order to get the entire distance between X and Y, we do 9 plus 9, which is 18. Correct answer is letter C. Problem number 8 is similar to the problem we did before. It is asking us for the arc length, and it told us that the angle was in radians, and it told us the radius was 6. So again, because it says radians, we're going to come out of 2 pi. If it said degrees, you're going to come out of 360. So if I write the formula down again, that gives me arc length equals the angle out of 360, excuse me, 2 pi, because it's radians, times the circumference, 2 pi r. So I'm looking for the length, so I need to plug in everything else. So that gives me 4/3 pi divided by 2 pi times 2 pi times 6. So in this case, same thing is similar as before. 2 pi is in the denominator, 2 pi is in the numerator, which means that they are going to simplify out to 1. So then that leaves me with 4/3 pi times 6. And if I simplify 4/3 times 6, that's going to give me 8 pi. And if I actually type in pi into the calculator, because as you can see, none of your answer choices has the pi symbol in it. There are decimals, which means we need to plug in pi. So 8 pi would then give you 25.13, which is letter C.